Hello, everybody. How are they playing? The Braves are playing right now. Like, how? It's pouring. I did not think that game was going to happen. Okay, I am on, guys, in 3 minutes. Let me just get my show set up. All right, I think we're good. How's everybody doing? It's been a while since I did a Facebook Live. We've had 2 tropical systems since the last time I did a Facebook Live, which we're seeing one right now, the remnants of Beta. It's bringing us some rainfall. I always have to do this every time I do one. But the rain will not last. I'm bringing you in, and then we'll talk. We'll talk. CBS 46 News at 9. Okay, so I'm not going to lie. In the early newscasts, I said I did not think that this game was going to happen, and here it is, bottom of the third. I do not know how they are actually playing in the rain right now, but the Braves at Truist Park just doesn't have the same ring to it as SunTrust Park for some reason. Maybe it's because we haven't been allowed in the stadium this year or whatnot. We'll get used to it, right? 64 degrees up there in Cobb County. The wind is coming in at 16 miles per hour, so it's cool out there. It's also very breezy. The reason for that is the remnants of Beta, this tropical system, which is now moving into our state. We've seen rain pretty much all day from this, and it will be a rainy night tonight. There's the good news. Severe weather threats, zip to none. We're just going to see scattered showers last overnight, not even really any rumbles of thunder. Another piece of good news for your morning commute, if you do have to drive anywhere, it doesn't look too bad. The heavy rain should move out after 5 a.m. We're still going to see very light drizzle through the morning, but once again, it should not be too bad. The only areas that need to watch for a small potential for flash flooding is northeast Georgia, so the mountains from Gainesville up through Rabun County, and also areas close to Chattanooga. Only about a 10 to 20% chance for flash flooding. Some of those heavy rain showers could continue through the morning hours for those northern counties. So you wake up, it's still very cloudy, foggy, drizzly. When you head out the door tomorrow, you will need the umbrella, especially through the first half of the day. But the afternoon does look drier. It will also be warmer tomorrow with high temperatures in the upper 70s. The only area that's probably going to continue to see these light showers through the afternoon and evening is once again northeast Georgia, Gainesville up through the mountains. It is going to be pretty gross into the week, but it will not last. We start Saturday on a very foggy note, but the weather only gets better from there. We'll see sunshine return by Saturday afternoon. It will be very comfortable outside, temperatures in the low 80s, perfect football weather, if I do say so myself. By Sunday, we're sitting in the low 80s as well. We will see more cloud cover building on Sunday, and we could see a few showers late in the day, but overall, this weekend does look dry. It's going to be warm this weekend, but that changes next week. We get a big shot of cooler air, which moves in on Tuesday, and then we see a reinforcement of even colder air move in Thursday into Friday. So what does that mean? What does that look like? Well, let's talk about the morning temperatures. On Monday, it will be 66 degrees in the morning, very mild. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, morning temperatures drop into the mid-50s. That's jacket weather. By Friday of next week, morning lows outside of Atlanta will be in the 40s, possibly the 30s for the mountains. We have seen temperatures this low only one day last week, but we're going to see a stretch of those very cool nights lasting into next weekend. So over the weekend, you can expect a mix of sun and clouds, low rain chances, temperatures in the 80s. By next Tuesday, that cool air arrives, and so does this beautiful fall weather. You know, when you think of the gorgeous October weather with the beautiful blue skies and the crisp air, that's what we're going to get Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week. So mark your calendars, make some outdoor plans. Fall has arrived. Okay. What's up, guys? 400 people watching. if you also get on my Facebook right now and start doing political stuff, Steve, you will be blocked. It is not a place for that, okay? We all have our views. We do not talk about them here. Talk about them on your own Facebook page. Okay, hope everyone had a great week. It's almost Friday. Have y'all been enjoying the fall weather? Because I have. It's been so amazing, especially compared to last year. We had 90 degrees every single day through the month of September. God, this is so much better. So heavy rain falling right now. That ends through the day tomorrow. It's not going to be the best day. It's going to be gross, low-hanging clouds, kind of sleepy weather. And that will carry into Saturday morning. You wake up on Saturday morning, it's going to be foggy, it's going to be nasty. You're going to think, oh, what the hell's going on? But by Saturday afternoon, the sun will come back out. It'll feel really great outside. Low 80s both Saturday and Sunday. Gorgeous weather, great football weather. Big changes come Tuesday of next week when a huge cold front comes in. So I showed this, but I am going to show it to you again. So next week, this is how the country's been split for a while. Poor West is just absolutely cooking. Meanwhile, over here in the eastern United States, another big shot of Canadian air. So what does that look like? Let me just show it to y'all. Let me just pull up my favorite website ever. College of DuPage weather. And this is the GFS model. Okay, so you see the country, and I'm going to do 850 millibar temps, which is temperatures at about 5,000 feet up in the atmosphere. So you can see this is the remnants of beta, and these are just temperatures, right? So you can see how warm it is across the west. You can see the country underlaid. So there's Florida, Georgia, Texas. You guys see. And then this is just wind barbs. So the wind direction and temperature. So look, here is Sunday, Monday. There's that first shot, Tuesday, and then we get another one. Whoo! Look at that. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Woo! That is some nice stuff. Okay? It's going to feel so good outside. Morning lows in the upper 40s, so chilly. But then afternoons in the low 70s, sunshine, not a cloud in the sky Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of next week. So it's going to be great. Does anyone have any questions? Not really. Not really seeing any questions. Is there another hurricane coming? No, there is not. Actually, for the first time in like 6 weeks, there's nothing happening in the Atlantic, and I will show that to y'all. The peak of the season was only 2 weeks ago, September 10th and 11th. So we usually continue to see really a lot of activity through the month of October, but we're going to trend towards less activity in the Atlantic and more activity in the Pacific, at least over the next couple of weeks, which is really good news because I'm sick of these tropical systems. But no, the hurricane season, so look, here's beta, and then for the first time we got nothing. Nothing. What's going on in the Eastern Pacific? Okay, Tropical Storm Lowell in the Eastern Pacific. And that's it. Where's it going? It's just going to be a little storm. So yeah, nothing happening, but the tropical season will not be over till November. Average first frost for Atlanta is mid-November. So not for quite a while. Myrtle Beach next week. Myrtle Beach will be cooler. It won't be too bad, but it will definitely be cooler. It won't be like going to lay on the beach weather by any means. Snow predictions. Way too early to talk snow. How long is the cold front gonna last? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It looks like, honestly, guys, we hang out with cooler temperatures as we head into October. It doesn't really look like we rebound. Like, I don't think we're gonna see 90 degrees again this year. Bad winter this year. Too early to predict that. We'll have to wait and see what happens with the back half of hurricane season and kind of if we're in a La Nina or El Nino. But I do not, if I had to guess right now, I don't think we're going to have a bad winter. What is the website again? The website is this. Just weather.cod.edu. Boom. All the models you could ever want. You'll get this, and then I go to weather analysis tools, numerical models. Then you have all your numerical models up here, from short range to medium range to long range. Click them. Then you can pick different sectors, different levels of the atmosphere. You have your precipitation products. You have your convective products if you want to talk severe weather. So yes. Is it true this is the earliest fall in Atlanta in 40 years? I don't know what you mean by that in terms of like cooler temperatures. It's way too early to tell that. We need at least a couple weeks of weather. It's definitely the earliest since I've lived back home. So for the 4 years I've lived here, it's been really hot every September. So, and I mean, even when I think of like when I was at college at UGA, like those first football games of the year were always so hot in September, even like into October. Okay. So we have a kicker. I have to do the end of the show. I hope you guys watch Peachtree TV. Your prediction for moisture this winter. You guys know that I do a winter prediction every year, and I've actually, like, with my research, gotten some of the aspects pretty right. Like, I predicted a really wet winter last year, and I predicted snow in December the year before. I like to hang my hat on that. But I have not, I'll tell you, I haven't really looked at anything yet, so I couldn't give you a prediction. I don't like to make a prediction until mid to late November because it's just too early right now to know anything that's going to happen. But I will make a winter forecast in November for you guys.
Yes.
How long does the longer term forecast? Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Let's check in one last time with Ella for a look at forecast.
Before we go to Ella, though, Rick, we're going to take a quick look at what is happening in Louisville. There was a second night of demonstrations as people take to the streets protesting the decision on Breonna Taylor. Two officers we do know that were shot yesterday. They are going to both live. One had surgery, one is already home. But as you can see, there's caution tape, police and riot gear preparing for that 9 o'clock curfew has already gone into effect. It doesn't look like there are that many people on the streets as it was yesterday, but it is still a developing situation.
We'll keep our eye on that. And of course, we'll have the full forecast coming up later tonight on CBS 46 News at 11 over on our sister station.
All right, Ella. It's just going to be another wet, cold day.
We'll see you at 11.
All right, we'll see you at 11. Go Braves!
Doo doo. How long does the longer term forecast project from DuPage? Well, the GFS and model and Neuro model go out, 2.5 weeks? But, so the way that models work is it's literally a numerical equation. So like when I was in college, I had to take a class called numerical equations where we learned the math behind these models. So you literally have an XY equation. And then the X and the Y are initial conditions, like wind and temperature and relative humidity and rain that we get from the weather balloons. We get them from weather balloons, we get them from radar sites, we get them from aircraft. And then those initial conditions go into the numerical models, and then the numerical models are run over time. And that's how we get our forecasts. So each of the models is just tiny little discrepancies in the numerical equations, and that's why we see the differences in the models. So as they're run over time, they incorporate more and more error, right? So that's why it's harder to predict further out. It's really cool. College was really hard. I studied a lot. That's actually pretty dang cool, isn't it? It's really incredible how science works. And math and all that jazz. Have forecasts been less accurate because of less aircraft this year? And that is a really good question, Ethan. And I have to say, so over open water, like the Atlantic, our main source of these initial conditions, right, are aircraft, cruise ships, and also buoys. Well, we still have the buoys, but we don't have aircraft and cruise ships this year. So we don't have accurate initial conditions a lot of times over the open water, not nearly as much as we used to have. So I will say that this hurricane season, the models have done a really bad job predicting when these hurricanes are going to form. Like, a lot of times they come out of the systems come out of nowhere, and none of the models predicted that they would be there. So yeah, I would say that I have seen a decline in the accuracy because of the less I don't even know what the word is, readings that we're getting from the aircraft and cruise ships. Do you think the info on the YouTube channel Direct Weather is pretty accurate? I have no idea what that is, and I would have to get on there and see if it's automated or if it's human done. Oh, what's up, Dylan? My boy down in Florida. Guys, if you have hurricane questions, okay, you need to get on Facebook and type in Meteorologist Dylan, D-Y-L-A-N, Federico, F-E-D-E-R-I-C-O. This man knows more about hurricanes than anyone. Like, I get on his Twitter when I want to find out stuff about what's going on with the hurricanes. So if you're a hurricane freak, you need to follow him on Facebook. He gives great updates all year long. Dylan Federico. How accurate is weather.com? I don't want to throw shade because, I love Stephanie Abrams. I love Tevin Wooten is one of my best friends because, the Weather Channel's here in Atlanta. So I know a lot of them really well. And they're fantastic meteorologists. But weather.com is an automated website. So they don't go and put in the numbers from their forecasting because they have to forecast for every single city, right? So it's computer automated. So is it accurate? I would say it's one of the most accurate out of all the automated sites, but it's definitely not 100% accurate by any means. Any more questions? You've been dead on with your forecast for the last few weeks. Woo! Thank you. I am a atmospheric circulations right now, and you're speaking my language, girl. Yes, it's harder. Makes me, I can't even see it, Rachel. I can't see what you're saying. Makes me cry. I've wanted to cry more than a few times in the last couple of weeks. Like, literally. You can't even open social media these days without wanting to freaking cry. How many Pokeballs is enough? That's a good question. I used to play Pokemon on my Game Boy. Will you give me that website one more time, please? Yes. weather.cod.edu. You don't even have to /forecast, just weather.cod.edu. I'll post it, guys, when we get off here. I'll just post it on my Facebook so that you guys can go check it out. Great. If you're like a, certified weather nerd and you like love messing around with stuff, it gives you access to everything you want. You can just fool around with it. And then if you have questions, you can just ask me about it next time I do a Facebook Live. What is Dylan's last name? So it's spelled D-Y-L-A-N, not D-I-L-L-O-N. So D-Y-L-A-N. Federico, F-E-D-E-R-I-C-O. The best when it comes to hurricane stuff. Do you have an in-house model at the station? Yes, Don, that's a very good question, and we do. We have a couple, but the system that most local TV stations use is called WSI, and this is it. And this is the automated model. It's called RPM that WSI uses, and I believe I actually don't know how they generate this model. It might be their own set of numerical equations, but you can see that on the side over here, so like these are contours, right? Overlaid on top of on the map, right? So I have my political boundaries. So if I like click this one, then the counties go away, right? See what I'm saying? If I click highways, like on and off, then the highways go away. So this is just called a contour. And it's the precipitation type. And over here, here's all the models that we have that we can use. So like if I were to click the Euro model, which is a long range model, right? So click it. See how much lower definition it is because it's a longer range model. So it's less high definition. And then if I were to click like the HER model is it's a short range model. It updates every single hour. So it's really accurate. So there's that. The RPM model. So there's the 12 kilometer, which goes out a little further. It's a little less accurate. So watch 12 kilometer. You can see it's a little bit more fuzzy, right? Now watch the 4 kilometer of the RPM. A little bit more detailed. So the lower range, so the shorter range models are more detailed, but they go out not as far. The longer range models are less detailed, but they go out way further. So the RPM model is our in-house model that we use. And we show, really, Jennifer and I come in here, we look at the forecast and we decide what model do we think is the most accurate? Because a lot of times, like, the Euro will show rain and GFS will show nothing. So if we want to show anything, like we have to decide what do we think is the most accurate. A lot of times that is the RPM or the HER. But if you're showing like next week stuff, there really is a lot of variability. And that is just because of the error that goes into the long range models. How far are satellites up in space that you guys use? Man, you guys are really testing my knowledge. I love this. There are 2 different types of satellites. I can't believe that. There's polar satellites. There's another one. And polar satellites are, honestly, one of them just rotates with the Earth itself. And the polar goes from pole to pole and is further out. So like one of them will give you a snapshot of the same area over time. And then one of them will give you a full Earth view, but not over time. So there's 2 different types of satellites. I think one orbits at like 18,000 miles and one of them's closer. Honestly, satellite imagery, not my specialty. So I have my CBM book. Do I have it here? No, I think I have it at home. I will freshen up on that and get back to you guys on that. Goes are. There it is. Yes. Rochelle or Rachel. So yep. And that one is the one that orbits with the Earth, I believe, closer to Earth. How long have I been doing the weather? Since January of 2014. So almost 7 years. Don knows his stuff. 500 millibar pattern is what to look at for long-range predicting as well as sea surface temperature. So the 500 millibar pattern is 18,000 feet up in the atmosphere. It's called the level of non-divergence, and it's what we look at for overall atmospheric patterns. I'll show it to you. I will show it to you. It's crazy that there's 260 people that are big enough weather nerds that you guys are sticking with me through all of this crazy nonsense. Okay. So this is the level of non-divergence. So this is 18,000 feet in the atmosphere, and this is wind speeds and direction. So see these lines? Winds follow these lines from west to east, okay? And then areas that are yellow and red are higher wind speeds. And so you can see the pattern here. So like if the air is going like that, the wind's going like that, it's bringing down cooler air, right? It's called cold air advection. When the pattern's going up like this, you're bringing in warmer air. You're also bringing in all the moisture from the Gulf, right? So let me show you next week. So you can see this little area here. This is on Sunday. This is what the reason we might get a little bit of rain. There's like this little tiny thing that comes in. It's called just a short wave. A little short wave that rolls through. But you see this dive that happens? There it is. There's the wind. This is called a trough. And man, that's the cool air that's coming down. That's next Monday. And then see, it reaches Georgia. Tuesday, Wednesday. Ooh, that long trough. Love it. So that's what we look for. I get on here every day, and the first thing I do is look at this over the next 10 or 12 days. Like, that's how I start my forecasting every single day. Thank you, Stephen. That is so sweet of you. You really make weather easy to understand and navigate. Well, I love it, and I talk about it and think about it every day. So I appreciate that. This might be a dumb question, it might not, and you believe in love global warming. Summers, I didn't understand that question. If you can ask it again, I will definitely answer it, but I did not understand that. Did I ever teach meteorology classes in college? No, but funny thing, my, God, what was that class? Oh my God, it was the hardest class. It was a engineering class called, God, I gotta look it up. Thermodynamics. So in my thermodynamics class, we had to do the carbon cycle, which is like, guys, it's like a 6-page equation, basically. It's the most ridiculous thing. You would never use it. We would never apply it, but it's just one of those things that you like had to learn. Well, so I learned it front to back, and our professor was kind of kooky and wasn't a great teacher. I hope he's not watching right now. But he started doing it, and he did it wrong. Like, I was looking at my notes, and I was like, I'm not even going to say his name because I don't want you guys to look him up, but I was like, that's not right. And he was like, well, then why don't you just get up here and do it? And I was like, okay. So I went to the front and wrote it all down, and everyone was like, yeah, I think that's right. And he was like, oh, that was right. And I ended up getting an A- in the class. Okay. So no, I never taught meteorology classes in college, but I was a smartass. I'm at UGA. I know who you're talking about. Jermaine! Shh, don't say it. No, but seriously, the teachers, Dr. Shepard, Dr. Moat, all of the atmospheric science teachers, Dr. Knox, and meteorologists at UGA are incredible. They're incredible. We had the best education there. I loved going to class to learn from them. Ray, I'm glad that you like this. I believe that weather's going to be getting colder over the next 5 years due to a solar minimum. Don, you seem like you know what you're talking about, and I have no idea. Like the sun and we don't, I don't mess around with astronomy. I like to keep it in the troposphere. When we get out of the troposphere, I start losing my knowledge real quick. So maybe, but your girl ain't no shit about that. Excuse my language. Do you go through a script or a standard work in a routine for preparation? So no, we don't have a script. So we have this thing called a rundown. I'll show it to you guys. Of every show that we do that the producer makes. Basically that gives you like a rundown of who's going to be on and where and when. So every day when I make my forecast, I build my graphics. Like I know that I'm going to have, in every hour I'll have 2 short weathers and 2 long weathers. So I kind of make this, what's the story about for the day? What is the weather story? And then I build the graphics to go along that. And then I will come into the show, which like I do the 5 p.m., right? So I'll hit the 5 p.m. rundown. And so you can see, so here, this is, military time. But so we start the show. We start the show with me, with Rick, and I know that I have at 5:04, I have 1 minute, right? And then here I am again, at 5:18, I have 3 minutes. So I'll go through and check on my times, but no, there's no script. It's whatever I want to say. I could literally get on there and be like, yeah, it's going to snow. It's snowing. So that's why our job to actually know what you're talking about in this industry now is so important. It didn't used to be that way. Like back in the 80s and 90s, you didn't have to be a real meteorologist. You could just like read the highs and lows. But now that like no one else in this newsroom except for the meteorologists know how to work WSI, have any idea how to build graphics or give a forecast. How much rain will we get over the next 2 weeks? And we have a wet winter, lots of rain. That's a good question, Brad. Over the next 2 weeks, I think it's going to be really dry. And a really fun site that I use for like 1 week out to 2 weeks out is the Climate Prediction Center. So if you go to Google and you type in Climate Prediction Center, 6 to 10 day. So this is literally, hold on. This is what I type in. Climate Prediction Center, 6 to 10 day outlook. Then you get the Climate Prediction Center and it tells you, so like this is, and they do this for every 6 to 10 days. So this is for September 30th through October 4th, which is what? Next Wednesday through next Sunday. You can see, look at that cold air. That's wild. So this is like there's a 100% chance almost that there will be below average temperatures in this part of the country. And almost a 100% chance there'll be above average temperatures in the western. And then they also do it for precipitation. So you can see there's a really high chance of below average precipitation across the south in that time frame. So that kind of gives us an idea of, like week 2. What will week 2 be like? So again, Climate Prediction Center, 6 to 10 day. And then also they have an 8 to 14 day, so a little bit further out. And you can see, look at that. It stays nice and cool. And the whole country's going to be dry. That's wild. Can you throw out some snow forecast periodically for East Tennessee and Knoxville too? East Tennessee is really hard to forecast for when it comes to snow because you have the mountains, the valley, and the plateau. So like I can try, but I'm not guaranteeing anything when it comes to East Tennessee. I had a really hard time forecasting snow totals up there when I lived there. So I can certainly try when there's snow happening this year, but it's difficult in that part of the country when it comes to snow. in the science that you believe in, do I believe in global warming? I get this question a lot. The Earth has always warmed and cooled, right? We've gone through Jurassic periods where it's been very warm. We've gone through ice ages where it's been very cool. But the variation of temperatures through those very warm and very cold periods is very small. It is not a lot. You would be very surprised. It's only about 20 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? Maybe a little more or a little less. And that is a cycle that occurs over thousands and thousands of years. In the last 100 years, the temperature on Earth has climbed over 1 degree Celsius, which is about over 2 degrees Fahrenheit. We've never seen an occurrence like that. And I know you say, well, humans have only been around for whatever, how many years? But we can go into, can get ice samples in glaciers that go back millions of years, hundreds of thousands of years, and that's how we can tell like when there was warm periods and cold periods. And we've never seen or had a warming period as quickly as is happening right now. In my eyes, it is directly correlated to long wave radiation from the sun coming into the earth and being trapped by greenhouse gases. It's science. You get the Earth's rays come in, and then there's shortwave radiation that comes back out of the Earth. The long wave radiation, greenhouse gases, it traps it in the atmosphere and then releases it, and it warms the atmosphere. The more carbon dioxide you have in the atmosphere, the more long wave radiation is going to be trapped. And the more the Earth is going to warm. So yes, I believe in global warming. Yes, I believe it's human caused. And yes, I believe regardless of if you want to say climate change is real, like make it political, it's so annoying. I hate when people try to make this political. Because if you look at the science, it's actually happening. The earth is warming. And I understand, like, species have gone extinct for all of time, and like, I get that, but at the same time, don't we have a responsibility as humans to reduce our carbon footprint, to not impact the world? Don't we have a responsibility as humans in this world that gives us oxygen and gives us life and lets us live and travel and breathe every day, to not pollute and not disrupt, right? It's just common sense. It's our responsibility to leave the earth the way that we found it and to treat it with respect. So regardless of if you agree with climate change or not, I think we should be doing everything that we can to reduce our carbon footprint. And that's my spiel on that. Any more questions? Can you work in a foliage color update? Mitchell, yes, we do. We start doing the foliage update in October. So that will start next week. We don't really see fall colors start here until October in Georgia. So yeah, we definitely start incorporating it, especially through October and November. Like, you'll see the foliage update every day. So yes, watch that for that coming next week. Did you have to take courses aligned with communicating weather to the agricultural community? No, I didn't, Tom. In fact, we didn't take any classes. Like, our program did not give us any on-air experience. Like, we did some little forecasting through the university, but like my first time in front of a green screen was with my internship. And my first time in front of a real TV was like the first day in Knoxville, and it was scary as you know what. Don, post your website to my wall. I would love to see it. Do you think we'll have early fall colors in East Tennessee due to the cooler temperatures? I actually do, Brian. I think that we are going to get a really beautiful fall this year. One, because of the earlier cool temperatures, but also because we're not in any type of drought. We've had so much rain that I think we're going to see great color through the fall. Have we ever gotten to the Greek alphabet for hurricanes names before? Yeah, one time, 2005. That's when we saw Katrina. That's when we saw Rita. I believe that's when we saw Wilma. That's when we had like 3 Cat 5 hurricanes in the Gulf. It was a really, really bad year. But this year we've seen a lot of storms, just not a lot of major hurricanes. Cold, winter, or warmer. And also, Mike, by the way, thank you for watching. Love when you guys have on Peachtree TV. Helps the ratings, helps my boss, really like me. It's all good news. Okay, so you guys keep asking about winter, and it's way too early to predict winter. But what I will tell you is that we are headed, I believe, into a La Nina. Let's just look it up. And this is getting, okay. So this is a Southern Oscillation Index. I believe we're in a little bit of a La Nina. See, this is when the, here we go. Come on, just give me the numbers. Okay, anyways, I think we're trending towards, and don't quote me on this because I need to do more research on this. I need to like take some time away from this to look at it, and I will get back to you guys on this. I believe we're headed into a little teeny bit of a La Nina. And that's just the way that the Pacific Ocean water works. So it usually, really cold water usually pools right off of the coast of South America, and very warm water pools right off of the coast of Australia. When those shift, that cool and warm water, it has huge impacts on our weather here and on weather all across the world. And we're going to see a La Nina, which is actually just an intensification of the pattern that's already in place. So very cold water in South America and very warm water in Australia. And when we get a La Nina winter, this is what it looks like. Usually, this is the patterns usually. So the ocean water directly affects the jet stream. And when there's a La Nina in place, you get a high pressure over here. So you get the winds, it's just a blocking pattern. So the winds have to go around it. So you get a big ridge in the western United States and a big trough down here. So that means, remember how we talked about those winds that come down like this, right? But that trough is usually to our north. So it gets really cold in La Nina winters for the Midwest. And then we usually see like a mixture of wet and dry, but it's usually warmer for us here in the South. There's a better graph of it. So again, I don't want to say we're going to have a warm and dry winter because I haven't done any of my own research and I don't like to just go off of one thing. But if we did trend to a La Nina winter, then we would trend towards a warmer pattern. Oh, Whitney, you're my favorite sports anchor. Dogs have good weather for kickoff Saturday. Yes. So you're going to wake up Saturday. It's going to be super foggy, and you're going to be like, what is this? But then by 4 p.m., it's going to be so nice outside. It's going to feel great. Might get a little bit of rain, like a little light teeny drizzle, but I actually don't think we're going to be wet at all, and it's going to feel so good outside. So, yes. Have I ever witnessed a hurricane up close? Oh, let me tell you about it. The most amazing experience of my career was when I was sent to cover Hurricane Florence in Wilmington, North Carolina 2 years ago. It was a Cat 4 hurricane before making landfall, and then it disintegrated to a Cat 2 and made landfall as a Cat 1. So it wasn't really the winds. But what happened was, guys, it sat over the same area for 5 days. We got there on a Monday, and it made landfall on a Wednesday, and we did not leave until Sunday because it was raining so hard for that long. We got 37 inches of rain. That is almost it's over 3 feet of rain. Okay, think about that in 5 days. Leaving Wilmington on Sunday was the scariest. It took us 12 hours to get home, first of all. That drive is usually a 5-hour drive. And the reason was all of the roads were completely washed out. And when I say washed out, it wasn't just like you couldn't see the roadways. It was rivers over roadways. And the whole, that whole coastline of North Carolina is already so swampy and marshy that everything was underwater. I mean, everything was underwater. And we got about 40 or 50 miles outside of Wilmington and realized that we shouldn't have left because the roads behind us were too flooded to go back, and the roads in front of us were so flooded, but we had no option, to the point where there was a time, and I was sitting in a van, where I rolled my window down and I reached out of the van with my arm and I touched water. So the water must have been, 2 feet deep or more? Probably more. And, what we tell people all the time, it was going through my head, is I'm a meteorologist. I sit and tell people all the time, flooding is the number one weather-related killer. Don't drive through moving water. Don't, turn around, don't drown. It's what we repeat all the time. And that was going through my head, but we had no choice. We literally couldn't turn back. And that was the most scary experience of my life. So, yeah, I learned a lot. It was incredible. The hurricane itself was crazy. We went through the eye, trees down everywhere in a Cat 1 storm, which in your head, you're that's the lowest hurricane. That's not going to do that much damage. It was crazy. So yeah, it really helped show me the power of those storms. Questions. You guys love this. I love that you guys love this. Oh, Larry, thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. Have I ever seen a tornado in person? No, but it is on my bucket list. Your girl gonna see a tornado. If it's the last thing I do. Literally. Do you have a weather person that you watched as a kid that helped influence you to become a meteorologist? No, I have a Discovery Channel VCR called Tornado, Hurricane, Flood that my dad gave me when I was 4. Y'all, I was OCD obsessed with this. I'm about to show you. Tornado, Hurricane, Flood. I watched this every single day. I know every single word. We still have it. I make my mom keep it so I can watch it. This is it. Y'all, I was so obsessed with this video. I want to know, when was it made? Let's see. 1997. So I was 6 years old, I guess, when my dad gave me that, and I became obsessed with weather. And I remember, in 5th grade, there were tornado warnings going off, and both my parents were at work. And everyone was inside, and I was out on my front porch, looking for the tornado. I've just never been scared. I've always just been so fascinated by it. It's we can't control it as humans. What else can we not control? Riddle me that. So I just love it. So that's why I got into meteorology. I don't really know. How's Rufus? So huge. He weighs 65 pounds. 65 pounds. And he's growing every day. And he's also obnoxious. Like, super crazy, huge puppy energy. But he's the sweetest thing in the world. Okay, well, I don't know if there's any more questions. Did you think you wouldn't get through meteorology school? Rochelle, it seems like you're going through it right now. I don't know what year you're in. My junior year, one semester, I took Calc 2 with physics with applied Calc 2, synoptic meteorology, thermodynamics, differential equations, and Calc 2. And that semester, I think I cried at least once a day. I mean, I was so stressed out because it was really, really hard. I had a tutor for chemistry, for all my physics courses, and for some of my math courses. You just got to take it day by day, and trust me, it's so worth it when you get through it. But yes, there were so many times junior year where I didn't think I was going to make it. Second year at OU. So just listen, if you can get done with the science courses, and then like you got to spread some of the, for me, physics with applied calc was by far the hardest. So I got a tutor for those, and I had a tutor for all of my calculus classes. Differential equations was very easy. You'll take that senior year. It's way easier than calculus. Thermodynamics is tough. Numerical equations is tough. But just go to your teachers. Like, go talk to your teachers. It makes such a difference, and they explain things. So, like, just make the time to go in, which I guess you can't do right now, and that probably makes it really hard. But try to get on individual Zoom calls if you don't understand something. Can you explain the green screen and how it flips your image? Well, just think, like when you're in a mirror, right? Like this is my right hand, but you guys are you guys seeing right? No, you're seeing right. It's a mirror image. So it's like when you have a flip phone your way, you're seeing a reversed image of you. That's the same thing on the green screen. Why does a meteorologist need differential equations? Milton, I asked myself the same thing a heck of a lot. But it wasn't that bad of a class. I ask myself every day, like, why do I need calculus? Why do I need chemistry? Why did I have to take chemistry? But it was on there. Girl, if you love thermodynamics, you won't breeze through those courses. Oh, Tanya, thank you. This actually is an Amazon find. This is a bodysuit from Amazon. What's up? That I got for like $18. It's amazing the stuff that you can find on Amazon. And it came with, I think I got it in white too. Okay guys, well it seems like you guys are really enjoying this, but no one's really asking any more questions, and it is, what time? Like, we've been doing this for a minute. I think I've been doing a Facebook Live for almost an hour. This might be the longest ever. Do I like being on TV? That is a loaded question. I love weather. I love explaining weather to people. I love the newsroom. Like, I love my colleagues, and I like the actual work a lot. But there's a lot of negatives to being on TV. Number one is having to get dressed every single day. Number two is having to put on a full face of makeup every day. If I had my choice, I would not do that at all. And number three is just the trolls, you know? Like, you get so used to people just saying mean stuff to you. And I remember when I was in Knoxville, I got it really bad from middle-aged women because I was so young. I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I was like 23 years old. And in the heart of the South, trying to be accepted. It didn't go well for me there. And I really had to have a hard outer shell because of the things that people said about me. Really terrible things. I mean, I guess in today's climate with like what we got going on right now, it happens all the time. But I guess I wasn't really prepared for how nasty people can be. And you really, like, if you're on TV, you just kind of get used to that. To the point now where, like, I don't even give it second thought. I just, like, block it. Sometimes I'll like, even screenshot it and, like, send it to my friends. I'm like, oh, look, another one. But that is one aspect that I don't really like. And there's a lot of times where I'm sitting at home because I have to shower. I wash my hair every single day, so I have to blow dry my hair every single day. And it's the worst thing ever. I know there's so many worse things I could complain about, but blow drying my hair every single day is the worst. I'm so glad you guys are still watching. Where do I get my hair cut? Rob is the best. Rob at Van Michael Salon in Buckhead. I've referred him so many clients. Like, women all the time DM me. They're like, your hair's so great. Where do you go? Rob, the best. My mom goes to him now. Like, she's never liked her hair. She goes to him all the time now. So if you want your guy, Rob, Van Michael Salon, Midtown. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go get myself ready for the 11. I hope that you will tune in. Help me with my ratings. Oh, I have big news that I can't announce yet, but I'm announcing it soon. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. That's coming in the next week or so, I would guess. Really big life changes and really big changes for all of you who watch me. Okay? So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys at 11, and go Dogs. Oh, and be ready on Monday night, because the Ravens going to beat the Chiefs. It's going down Dirty Bird style with the real Dirty Birds. I am so excited for that game. I'm gonna have to be here because it's a Monday Night Football game, so I will be literally on air while it's happening. But I will be out here glued to the TV in my purple dress. I might even wear a jersey. I might even throw on a jersey during the 9 p.m. show. I don't know. I'm gonna be screaming in this newsroom. All right, guys, have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all just made me feel so special for a whole hour. Love talking to you guys. Way less gross comments this time, which I think I'm finally thinning out the gross dudes. All right, guys, have a great night. We'll see you in 19 minutes. Bye.